Valley project came about really because of the trust moving towards a living landscapes concept, thinking about not just nature reserves in isolation but about the green spaces that connect up nature reserves. And the Sowe Valley in Coventry is a really wonderful example of a green corridor connecting up really valuable habitats. You've got Warwickshire Nature Reserve in the north, Stoke Floods Local Nature Reserve in the centre of the valley, and Stonebridge Meadows in the south, and a really wonderful green corridor that runs between them that provides a really wonderful and incredibly valuable green space for the residents of Coventry.
It's a godsend because people live, you know, fairly close, if you like. It's there for them anyway. And others, it's not far to go. When you consider where it starts and how long the walk is, if they want to do it, and there's, you know, you've got Stoke Floods there, that area, conservation area. You've got another one down at Warwickshire there. And it is a pleasant walk along the river.
The Sowe Valley project was set up with three key aims. The first was to improve the river for people and wildlife. The second was to encourage and enthuse people about the river and the opportunity it presents. And the third was to create a legacy to ensure that people continue to look after the river long after the project is finished. In May 2010, just 7 months after the project was launched, the Sowe Valley Volunteers were formed. For many of the volunteers, it was the opportunity to make the valley better for wildlife and for people that encouraged their involvement in the project.
And I used to walk along the Sowe footpath and I was amazed at how much rubbish is dumped into the river. You'd be surprised at stacks, everything. So I just wanted to clear it up a bit. I felt a bit silly. I did some on my own and I felt a bit silly. So it's nice to have an organisation you can be with that you're not looked as mad paddling in the water.
The volunteers since starting have achieved a huge amount. Over 80 volunteers have given time to the project, equating to over 1,700 volunteer hours spent on the river. Over 500 bags of rubbish have been removed. Many large items have also been removed from the river, including trolleys, car batteries and garage doors. 2 turn rafts have been installed at Stoke Floods. 1 otter holt's been installed along the river to encourage otters to migrate further up the Sowe. 10 mink rafts have been installed and are being monitored for signs of mink by Sowe Valley volunteers. Over 200 square metres of invasive Himalayan balsam has been removed from the bankside, and over 50 square metres of native bankside species have been planted in their place. A total of 22 sites have been improved for both people and wildlife along the Sowe.
We've done a tremendous amount of work over the 2 years now to make this pleasant for people to walk along, better for the environment and birds, animals and so on. Cleared the river out so the river is flowing nicely, and it is nice and clean, the river, it's good quality.
The volunteers have also formed strong working friendships, bringing people from communities along the 8.5 mile valley in Coventry together for a common cause and creating a strong and unified approach to conservation work along the River Sowe.
Coventry is a very insular place. You know, we found here with the NDC, we got 4 basic residence areas, and there was this sort of invisible barrier down the white line in the middle of the road. You didn't cross. One of the great achievements of the whole Sowe Valley project at all is to get people from the north and the south of Coventry and everyone in between to actually work with each other, talk to each other, and basically become friends. Not friends, at least working colleagues where we can actually put up with each other even if we don't like each other.
You know, the chance of actually coming down here and, you know, working with these absolutely super people, I can't say enough of it, you know, the friendship that we've created.
But it isn't just the physical improvements the volunteers have benefited from. Many of them have taken part in informal training for the project, including river conservation, water vole ID and bat ID, and in turn helping to enthuse others about the species found along the Sowe.
Absolutely brilliant. I went on one last week and there was a little boy there, 6, and he made my night. There was pipistrelles flying up and down and he got so excited, was jumping up and down and saying, "I've never seen a bat before!" And it's that sort of thing that we've just got to encourage young people to do, you know, little ones, because you don't, he may be enthused for the rest of his life in the environment and that, and it's just so important. We can't let it go. We really, really can't.
Most importantly, the Sowe Valley volunteers are committed to continuing the work the Sowe Valley project has started once the funding ends in the summer of 2012. They formed the Friends of Sowe Valley in December 2011 and have a constitution that sets out their aim of protecting and enhancing the Sowe Valley for future generations.
The Warwickshire Wildlife Trust has brought this along very, very well. Obviously without them we couldn't have really done it, because it would have just been the odd one or two of us tidying up, cutting back the odd branch and this sort of thing. But with their sort of know-how and supplying the tools and all the rest of it, it's made a hell of a difference. Now we know that they are leaving us in August, but now we've got a committee, which I'm a member of, which covers 5 different groups. So that committee can liaise with all 5 groups. We've got a constitution, secretary, chairman, and everything seems to be coming together, so that when they leave in August, all being well, we should be pretty autonomous. Although they will still be in the background, should we need them.
Equally important is the role the volunteers play as the voice of the valley, not only cleaning it up but promoting its preservation. They are advocates for the valley and play a key role in promoting it.
I was most disappointed one day when one chap said to me he couldn't understand why all this open space wasn't built on. And that really was something. I said, well, why do you want bricks and mortar absolutely everywhere? I said, can't we have some open spaces? And I think it's important to keep this as it is, but to improve on it and make sure there's always a team of people to look after it.
The Sowe Valley project has been actively promoting the use of the valley for educational purposes and encouraging people to access, explore and enjoy the river.
They've actually provided young people with the opportunity to go out into spaces they wouldn't usually go out into, and they've actually enjoyed doing that. We've done healthy walks, we've done a twilight treasure hunt which was up at Coombe Abbey, and they set out like a treasure hunt that we had to do, and it was boys versus girls and they got really into it.
The project has delivered over 60 children's and youth activities, engaging with over 1,500 children and young people. Many of the children and young people engaged had never spent time exploring and enjoying the green spaces on their doorstep.
It's brought the young people together and they've made new friends, they've used spaces they wouldn't even dream of using. They actually set up a teddy bear's picnic for parents to take their children on, and they even said afterwards, you know, we wouldn't even dreamed of going, it was Warwickshire, I think it was, they wouldn't even dreamed of going up there, but they had such a lovely time, and they've been back since to use the area.
The project has also worked with 22 schools and children's centres along the valley, encouraging them to access and use the valley within the curriculum. The project was keen to ensure the school and children's centre staff felt empowered and informed through the project to continue to use the green spaces along the river long after project funding had ended.
I think just constantly, I mean, we're always incorporating it into our planning with groups, and we're always taking parents down there, and it's the fact that they keep going back and they keep saying, oh, we've been and we've had such a good time, and the children want to go back and keep asking to go back all the time. And I think it's nice because so many stakeholders like the ducks and bug hunts to do, so there's so much of them to do, and the Sowe Valley's helped us because I mean we weren't sure that it was all there before we all started anyway, so it's opened our eyes.
The Sowe Valley project ensures it offered a wide range of opportunities to engage with nature and improve the valley. This open and community-led approach resulted in a number of wildlife-themed arts projects to improve the valley. Wildlife-themed murals at Clifford Bridge Road, Longford Park and Stoke Aldermore were all designed and painted with the community's involvement. The Sowe Valley project has also delivered a wide range of community events to encourage people to access the Sowe Valley and enjoy all it has to offer. Events range from bat walks and Easter egg hunts to a 6-site Species on the Sowe roadshow and seasonal valley walks. The Sowe Valley Relay Walk, held in June 2012, was an opportunity for the project to invite people from across the city to enjoy the valley. Why not go and explore the Sowe Valley yourself? The Sowe Valley volunteers have spent time installing new waymarkers along the Sowe Valley footpath, cleaning sites up and making the valley more accessible. The Sowe Valley project team, with support from Coventry City Council, have redesigned the Sowe Valley footpath leaflet to highlight all the wonderful green spaces you can see and explore. Why not pick up your own copy from your local library or community centre, or download it from Coventry City Council's website and explore the valley for yourself?